Hi, fifth graders. Happy Friday. So this is actually your last lesson of the year. Next week you'll have like a small quiz to do, but this is the last one. So you made it, and I'm so excited for you all. So you've been working with Miss Carter for the past 2 days, Monday and Wednesday. You learned improper fractions and mixed numbers. You did some converting from mixed to improper. So today we're going to flip that around and we're going to do some converting from improper fractions to mixed numbers. So this is part 3 of our mixed numbers and improper fractions. So let's get started. So as you know, you've been over this diagram a couple times, but you know that proper fractions is when you have the numerator, it's smaller than the denominator. So your improper fractions is when the numerator is greater than the denominator or equal. So as you can see, this first one, the 3 is larger than the 2. So that's an improper fraction. And our mixed numbers consist of a whole number and a proper fraction. So our 1, our 2, our 5, that's the whole number, and then we have a proper fraction. So if you look at the pictures, you notice with the fractions, the improper fractions and the mixed numbers, those pictures look the same. However, it's a little different for proper fractions, but we're going to be talking about that, why it works, how it is, and how do we go from that improper to the mixed, okay? So how do we do it? So when you're converting an improper fraction to a mixed number, you're going to be incorporating some division. So we know that an improper fraction is when the numerator is greater than the denominator. So we know that, and we know that this is the numerator and this is the denominator. Now, if you look at the denominator, it tells you the whole of the fraction. So it tells you how many is in the whole. So 17/6, we know that there's 6 in one whole. So you can divide the numerator by the denominator. So that's 17 divided by 6, and you get 2, and the remainder is 5. However, we will also be drawing pictures to determine that also. So you have 2, and you have the remainder 5, and your whole is 6. So this is what you get. You do 2 plus 5, 6, and your mixed number is now 2 and 5, 6. So you combine it, and you have your whole number, your numerator, and your denominator, and now you have a mixed number, okay? So we're going to draw a picture of 17/6 and talk about why and how those steps work, okay? So here we go. We are going to draw a hole with 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we know that one hole is 6, so we're going to color that in. Okay, we got to do another one because that's not up to 17 yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Are we at 17 yet? We are not. So we have to do one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we had 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So this shows us, again, that we have 2 holes. So number 2. And that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the whole was 6, okay? So you have 2 and 5, 6. Now, if you were doing the division problem, you would do 17 divided by 6, and that would tell you that you got 2, remainder 5, okay? But we're going to just start off with drawing our picture. All right, some more practice. We're going to convert 11 halves to a mixed number. So remember, we have our numerator. It is larger than our denominator, so it is for sure an improper fraction. We know our whole is 2. So I'm going to draw my first one, and that's 1 half, 2 halves. So we have to keep going until we get to 11. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So now we're going to count how many holes we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes. And how many do we have for our numerator? 1 half. Okay. And remember what you learned with Miss Carter? You learned how to go from a mixed number to a improper fraction. So if you wanted to check and make sure that was correct and kind of switch it back, you could do the 2 times 5 equals 10 plus 1 equals 11. And you're like, okay, so this does for sure equals 11 half. All right, so I want you to pause this, and I want you to try this one out yourself, and then unpause, and then you can watch me do it. So convert 15 fourths to a mixed number. All right, so hopefully you have already completed this. So I know that 4 is my whole. So I know that 4 is my whole. And so if someone were to ask me, how many holes do you have in here? I would go ahead and draw my picture. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Start counting. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Need one more. 13, 14, 15. So how many holes do I have? 3 holes. And what's my fraction? My proper fraction would be 3/4. So if I add that together, we have 3 3/4. Okay? So 1, 2, 3 3/4. And if you divided it, again, I can show you, since this is the last one, what we would do if we divided it. So like it goes back here, it says you divide 17 divided by 6. So we're going to divide 15 divided by 4. So you think, how many times does 4 go into 15? So 4 doesn't go into 1. And then 4 plus 4 is 8. So that's 2 times. Another 4 is 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 3 times. 12, 13, 14, it doesn't go in through the third time. So you say 3. You do 3 times 4 is 12. You take away 5, take away 2 is 3. And so this tells you that you went in there 3 times with your remainder is 3 and your whole being 4. So that's how we got 3 3/4. All right. You finished it like a boss. Like I said, this is your last lesson. So you are done. You all did a fabulous job this year. I miss you all. I'm sad that it had to end this way, but you guys were really hard workers. So the last thing you need to do for this week is log on to Canvas and complete your 3 problems. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week for a short quiz. But I hope you have a great summer, all right? Bye.